Scroll and Sword, welcome back. We just read 1 Samuel 5 through 7, and I want to focus on verses 1 through 5 in chapter 5, where Israel lost the ark, the Philistines captured it, they placed it in the temple of Dagon like a trophy, but the ark was not in trouble. Dagon, the false god of the Philistines, was, and the Philistines thought they had defeated Israel's gods, but 1 Samuel 5 shows something devastating. Yahweh does not need his people to rescue him. Shocker. He can defeat idols all by himself. And in chapter 5, the Philistines, they placed the ark beside Dagon, treating Israel's captured ark like proof that their God had conquered Yahweh. The enemy thought God's presence had become their trophy, but God was about to turn their temple into a courtroom. You know, God does not lose in enemy territory. Dagon, he was a major Philistine deity, likely connected to grain or storm power, and his temple represented Philistine confidence, their religion, and really national strength. You know, every idol looks powerful until it has to stand in the presence of the living God. Idols only look strong from a distance. You know, scholars point out that Dagon's posture before the ark becomes one of reverence and submission before Yahweh. The image is savage. The God they thought had won is face down before the God they thought had lost. False gods will still bow down to God, our God, Yahweh. And our culture still sets its idols beside God, acting like success and power, sexuality, politics, money, influence, all the stuff can stand next to him as equals. But God, he does not negotiate with idols. He knocks them down until they confess what worshipers refuse to admit. We stop decorating Dagon's temple with Yahweh. The whole entire earth is Yahweh's temple. And the next morning, the Philistines find Dagon fallen, and human hands have to pick their God back up and put him in place. You know, if your God needs you to keep propping it up, it is not your God. It is your project. It is your puppet. And, you know, don't worship what you have to carry. The second fall is actually worse because Dagon's head and hands are cut off, leaving only the trunk before the ark. Yahweh does not just embarrass the idol. He dismantles its authority. He dismantles its power. God breaks the head and hands off of false power. R.P. Gordon explains that this is not mainly a military conflict between Israel and the Philistines, but an ideological contest between Yahweh and the Philistine deity. The real battle is not whether Israel can defend God, but whether any God can survive Yahweh. God can defend his own name. You know, and modern Christianity often panics like God needs us to protect his reputation, rescue his relevance, or make him look strong in a skeptical world. But God does not need you to make him powerful. He calls you to be faithful while he proves idols weak. Faithfulness is not God management. The ark was captured, but Yahweh was not defeated. Dagon fell because idols cannot stand where God's presence rests. We got to stop treating God like he needs to be rescued. He is not fragile. He is holy, and every false god will eventually fall before him. Head cut off, arms cut off, the whole 9 yards, because Yahweh is God, Christ is Lord. Love y'all. See you in the discussion room.